That's right back, Charlie. That's right.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
You always just have to run like I've been given like.
Boy, and with an introduction like that, there's nothing more to be said. People, deluded, I'm back again. I've got my good friend Gooner here addressing the elephant in the room, which is City versus Arsenal. So yeah, man, what you saying, my guy? We got a lot to go over still in this.
Listen, bro. It's gonna be a crazy weekend, bro. It's either gonna be a good next weekend going into the the next couple of games, or it's gonna be a sticky one, bro. Yeah, we're gonna chop it up, man. We're gonna chop it up.
Like you said there, before we get into the nitty gritty of City, obviously international break's done. We've got bare fixtures in April. How do you feel, man? There's some difficult games, some difficult grounds. There's no margin for error. This is what we asked for, no?
It is, but you just wanted. It's a hard one. I kind of didn't want the international break because you kind of wanted to go into the Man City game. Oh, do you know what? I'm also wanted the Chelsea game to be done. But obviously they're not in the FA Cup no more, so they're in the FA Cup. So obviously we had to move that game. But yeah, listen, for me, I think I know it's that's famous old saying, but I think you have to just take game by game. I really do think that, because I don't think you can kind of say, yeah, well, one player is going to play in this game. I think you got to just play your best team, and whoever's fit for the next game, play them, because in this time of the season, it's crunch time, the famous saying from Sir Alex Ferguson, squeaky bum time, and it really is.
I don't know about that, but maybe
maybe
Lee knows about them things there.
We can say squeaky bum time. We can say squeaky.
I don't know what that is. This is I talking for himself still. I don't know. Maybe that's over them sides there. We don't see that. I don't know what's going on over there, man.
It's crazy. My girl's all right, man. She's cool, man. She's all right still. But no. But no, for real though, man, it's gonna be.
The big red thing. We know what you're.
It's gonna be really tough, kind of, to say certain players can play certain games. I just think you just got to play, and I think it'll be less training and more games just focused on that, and that's it, really.
Let me stop you there, because I don't think you're wrong. Obviously, I believe in it's a difficult one where I'm not Arteta in it. Like, you could play the same team if something goes left against City. We might be, for instance, saying keep the team the same. We don't beat City. We're sitting here and saying maybe this could have happened, that could have happened, hindsight and all of that. I remember Mikel Arteta said we've got one of the finished squads, and me and you have both seen the fixture calendar list. There's no margin for error. The games are coming thick and fast. But do you think this is the time, not necessarily to make wholesale changes, but he needs to be cute and clever and rotate where he can, because we've got Luton as well. So yeah, where are you at with that, man? Because many people counteract that.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think you just got to be cute and clever. There's certain games, if you're 2-0 up, you have 70 minutes gone, and you're in control. It's a risk, but take players off. You've got 5 subs for a reason. Take players off.
Facts.
Luton, I'm not going to say that you look down on your opposition, but you might want to change a few players. Or if you say, you know what, I'm going to play the strongest team, and you rotate heavily in the second half if we're 3-0 up, for example, and you hope that the players can see it out. This is the game, or these are the kind of games where you want to put Timber in if he's fit and ready. You want to give Tomiyasu minutes, give Partey minutes. You want to give players who maybe on the periphery or on the outside, or the rotational players, a chance. Jesus, he needs to get minutes. Listen, I don't like him at all. I think he's a horrible footballer. But someone like Eddie, the fact that we brought him on against
Eddie Stray,
bro. But like, forget Eddie. Like the likes of Martinelli, like whoever it is that's not had enough minutes. ESR,
Nelson, and them man. Raw Smith Rowe praise.
Listen, even someone like ESR is effective. Like my thing has always been, and you know this, I've never said that ESR is not the quality like that. I don't think he's amazing. But it's just the fact that
I used to play like that at the Emirates.
But my point has always been more so like
you've been consistent on your Smith Rowe.
I've never said he's dead. I'm just more like like we need to calm down. Man, are just going off like 1.5 season of him playing good, and and that's my thing. But like someone like him can make a difference in the squad and in the team and do something different. So listen, let's see if he can come off the left, or let's see if he can come on the left 8 row and instead of Trossard, for example. So there are opportunities for players, and there's going to be games where these guys can come in and be the finishers in the squad. So well for games. So yeah, there's plenty of games, man. So I think you're right. Arteta just has to be cute with it.
What's your immediate thoughts in relation to City Arsenal then, man? Because like it's a madness.
Bro, you see my thing with the Arsenal fans, yeah, bro. People are going crazy with it, bro. They're like, yeah, I want the full team. I want this, that, and the other, bro. If I see Walker out, if I see Stones out, I'm celebrating, bro. I don't need to sit here and have anybody justifying to me, oh yeah, we beat them. If we win, and they ain't got their full squad. Oh, it's because
we didn't have ours when we beat Liverpool. There's
been bad times last season. Partey out. Tomiyasu was on right back. We didn't have Ben White, I think it was. Bro, there's bad times. Last season, Saliba. How many times have we gone into big games and we're always crying? This season, we may not have Martinelli. So, listen, man, I don't care. Going away.
Didn't even have Saka against City last time, actually.
There you go. We didn't have Saka. Who else did we? Obviously, Havertz didn't start. Some people don't rate him. Fine, whatever. But listen, for me, I just think that, and I don't think Partey played either. So, listen, I think Arsenal fans are going a bit crazy with it. I think you have to remember who you're playing up against. We're playing up against a treble-winning team. A squad.
Big dogs in this.
Bro, they're not here to play games, man. And I think that we can beat them. I'm not like sitting here saying that I'm mad shook, but it's going to be a difficult game, man. And if we win it, I'm not going crazy. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm on your wave. I'm not going to go crazy with it, bro, because I think we've got so many other hard games.
I don't look at the league table, bro.
Yeah, listen, we've got so many other hard games away from home. Oh, that's a lie because you looked at it last week. But anyway,
I think it was AI, man. It was AI.
Listen. Don't make me have to pull up the videos, bro, because the videos are there, bro. Ain't no editing, brother. Ain't no editing, man.
That was the first time. Wallahi, that was the first time I ever looked at the league table. Still, that was crazy, bro. I don't know what Arsenal been doing to be top. Madness.
If you didn't know Arsenal top of the league, still,
swear. Last season we was top for time, so I just need to see that in May. If I'm honest with you,
but no, for real, man. I just think it's going to be a tough game, and I think if we win, I don't want to go crazy with it because we've got Man United away, and I think they're going to try and ruin the party. And Spurs away. Listen, it's only I think on Saturday. It's a week until we play Brighton away, bro. That is not an easy game, bro. So yeah, I think
3 games in 10 days essentially. So
yeah, and then after what is it? The week after that, we've got Champions League. So I'm not going crazy with it at all, man. I'm not going crazy.
Do you think these things can come back to haunt us? Because I can't remember it, like the numbers and that. But I think in the space of when we're going into the North London derby, we would have played like 4 games, and I think they've got 13, 14, 15 days off. Do you think 15. These things? See, even that basically 2 weeks or 2 weeks in a day. Do you think that can harm us, or is that actually a benefit? Because many people say Spurs will be fresh. Other people say we could be, we could have momentum. Do you does this period and these things, again, going back to what Arteta said about a thin squad, do these things make you nervous?
Well, it depends if you believe him. If he says we've got a thin squad, I don't think we've got a thin squad. I think we've got a squad that can handle most of these games. I do think we've got a thin squad in the sense of the absolute top 14, 15 players, all of them being absolute quality. But I don't think we've got a thin squad. We've got 2 left backs. So we've got 3 left backs. We've got 2 right backs. We've got 3 centre backs. We've got 2 keepers of good quality. We've got how many midfielders? We've just spoken about ESR that he doesn't get to play. Fabio Vieira's back. We've got Odegaard. We've got Partey. We've got Jorginho. We've got Rice. Bro, that's a bunch of plays like that.
How many man did you say? Yeah, and again, big them up for being fit.
But this is what you're doing.
Stay fit, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. If they're right now, I'm seeing all of them fit. The only one I know is Martinelli. Timber's actually back. He's been training since February. Tomiyasu's played in the warm up game against QPR. So Partey. Listen, man. Jesus. I don't know if you're going to chat about it today. I just saw a news article about it. Literally, I was a bit late because I was actually just running up from upstairs. But as I saw something pop up on my phone about he wants to play a big role in the title. He's fit and firing. So, listen, man. Like
that's news to me, and you said that at the right time. Where did you see it?
I'm going to tag you in it now. I literally saw it as I was coming upstairs. But my point,
it's on the Sun, isn't it?
Nah, it wasn't from the Sun. But My point is though that we've got bare players, man. We do have bare players, and I know you're saying that they're not always fit. I hear you, but right now, at this very moment, the only player that we know that looks to be it is the son. Sorry, it is the son. Yeah, Jordan Davies. The only player that looks to be out confirmed like that is Martinelli. So how can we? And if you got man like Jesus coming out saying certain things like he wants to be the player to bring play a major role, as you can see on the screen. We have to take man at his word. I mean, this is the same guy that said he wanted to come in and be the number 9, and he's been terrible in terms of goal scoring.
I don't like to score goals. We done him dirty, but you're right.
But my point is that you can only, bro. You know how it is, bro. You have to take a man's word for what he says.
Yeah. Because that's all you can.
That's all you can do. So, like for me, I'm just saying that we've got enough, I feel, to play most of these games. Yes, I don't think we've got the absolute 100% quality to go far in everything. So Champions League, we might fall a bit short, but we've got enough, man. We've got enough, and we've got to just go to these games with confidence. I think that's what it is. And again, as you keep speaking about, and we've spoken about the rotation.
I think you're bang on the money. And for me, you know what, to be fair, you are right. I am kind of, scaremongering, and I've been bitten a number of times, paused by Arsenal. I am expecting injuries and all of those sort of things. But for me, I like that from Gabriel Jesus. I know he said the whole goal scoring thing, but I do think he's a big game player. I do think he's someone to be counted on. I do think people kind of forget, and obviously no two games are the same and all of those things, but he put in an effing shift when we beat City. So I'm looking at it that you're at the Etihad. You saw what happened to us last season. Could this be one where you make the difference? And it's kind of on brand that you mentioned that, because as you said, Martinelli might be a doubt. There's rumors about Saka, Big Gabriel, and Martinelli. I'm not a physio, but I think Big Gabriel will be there. I think Saka will be there. Martinelli's been out for a while, so I don't know. Many people will point towards Trossard starting, which I've got no issues with. Trossard's a good player. But assuming that left-hand side, that Martinelli's not involved, bro, are you starting Jesus? Because for me, I think Jesus has to start. I'm not removing Havertz, because I think, and I would go with Havertz up front and whatnot. But I think this is a game for Jesus. I'm not going to cap, man. Especially because he helps defensively. And big up Kirill, he's been doing his thing. But that's a battle out there with an informed Phil Foden or something of that ilk. So he helps out in that regards, man. I'm not sure.
It's tough. You know what? I am, because as I do like Trossard. I know. Listen, last week we did a show with Jess, and I said, look, Trossard, I would sell him, not because he's not good.
Just my show's emotional.
Yeah. And not because I don't like him. I think he's a quality player, but I just feel like he's somebody who you can get money for, and we can kind of reinvest somewhere else in the squad. But I just don't see him as a left winger, and I don't know if he's someone who starts a game against that high intensity team like Man City. So I think he's probably by default the player that has to go there. Now, do I think he will play? No, because I think Trossard will play. He's the first person up in that position. And people are going to say I'm crazy. People are going to say I'm flip-flopping, but I'll probably rather even play ESR there. I know what ESR has.
Oh, that's a shout. To be fair, Smith Rowe's done it off the left.
Bro, and that's my point.
I don't like back that one.
Bro, I know what he's done there, though, man. And that's my thing. I know what he's done there. I saw him against, 2 seasons ago against Aston Villa, against Spurs. He scored a goal. Like, he has played off the left, and he's done quite well. So I'm not going to sit here and say he can't do it. It's just about, can you do it for 90 minutes? And I don't know if he played against QPR, but this is a squad game, man, and that's what it's about. But I think for me, look, Jesus is probably the best option to play off the left. We saw what he did at home. He played off the right. Because it was, who else played? No, yeah, it was. He played off the right. He did.
Yeah,
he played off the right, and Ketia played up front. That's what it was. Yeah. So, and then obviously Havertz came on with Martinelli on the left. Okay, cool, makes sense. But for me, I think you've got it spot on. I think Jesus is he's the best option. He's got the skill. He knows how Man City play. I think he can get in between those spaces. Obviously, the
moments we bought you for, in my
there you go.
And not just him, Zinchenko, to a degree, Declan Rice, Havertz, even all the guys that come to this football club with a degree of well-rounded experience, man. So I think you're right still.
Yeah. So it's listen, it's going to be tough, and obviously as well, the other part of it is if Man City are playing certain players like Walker's not playing or John Stones is not playing, then it kind of, I think the manager will think, okay, well, I can get this player in there to negate against that or whatever it is. So listen, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game. I think the players have to put it all out on the pitch, and hopefully, obviously, we come out winners, man.
How do you feel about Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne? Because I think all the talk with the game at the Emirates was there's no Rodri, blah blah blah, and he's a great player, but they miss Kevin De Bruyne. I do think there is a correlation between him not being there and us kind of keeping Haaland quiet. Now, big up Gabriel and Saliba. They've done it at Wembley, done it at the Emirates. I'm not taking anything away, but they're gonna be back, man. And these are two big boy footballers.
Well, I think the bigger player is Rodri. I think if Rodri doesn't play, I think the chances of us winning go up exponentially, man. I think the fact that that guy, because it's not only the tracking back, it's not only those naughty little fouls and giveaways that he does, it's not only breaking up the play, it's the finishing, bro. The guy is clutch, bro.
He's a villain. We've seen it against us.
What was it, 2 seasons ago, January?
Yeah,
bro, and he came on like it was a World Cup, bro. I'm like, brother, calm down. Like, where's some
celebrations burned me? I can't.
Bro. Like, I'm like, bro, like, calm down a bit. But anyway, listen, fair play. He scored the goal, and that's his villain arc, innit? But I don't know, man. I think if you've got no Rodri, you've got such a big chance to win the game. De Bruyne, we know what De Bruyne is, man. He's going down as a Premier League GOAT. He's going down as one of the best players in the position. He's in that cluster with Gerrard, Lampard, Bergkamp, if you want to put him in that kind of number 10 role, etc. But I think for me, Rodri's the guy, man. Especially with no Stones, possibly, I think he's the guy that you have to stop. And this is going to lead into my next point. This is why I would play Partey.
Oh, you see, this is why I like the way you structure your sentences, because it ties into what I was going to ask you. Like, you just alluded to it that you play Partey. Me personally, I'm fighting the demons, and it's one where I'm happy I'm not Mikel Arteta, bro, because my natural bias is Odegaard, Rice, Partey. That's amazing. Take nothing away from Jorginho, because I think Jorginho is better in these games than in the North London derby. But why would you start Partey? Is he necessarily fit enough for the duration of this? Like,
no, listen, as I said, I'm going to keep saying it. It's a squad game. It's a squad game. Kiwior could start the game. I'm not saying he has to finish it. He ain't got to finish the game. Jesus could start the game. I'm not saying he has to finish it. Listen, we saw against I know it was a bit different, but because obviously he was unwell. But we saw against Sheffield United, we were 5-0 up at half-time. He made subs. Like, this is what it's about. And you're right. Going back to your point, I think it's such a good. I think Arteta has to be cute. He has to be cute with these players, man, because really and truly, it's not about just this one game. Let's say the worst case scenario, we lose. Bro, we got to think about the next game. The next game.
Immediately.
The next game, we can't do what we did last season, where we drop points against Liverpool, then we drop points again the next game, and then we drop points in the next game. Yeah, we can't do that.
Collapse from there,
bro. So I think, for me, I'm more worried about, the fact of losing players. But I think from what we saw last season, we need legs around those two midfielders, because last season when we played them away, obviously we played and he got spun like a donut again on the halfway line.
And he's winking when he scores in that.
But I'm more worried about just the midfield. I don't want to be overrun. I don't want to have all that pressure on Declan Rice thinking he's got to do everything, man.
That's why I'm putting Havertz and Jesus, because of the work rate. And I know when you think of a team like City, bit like us, like Raya's done it on a couple of times. Edison, that's his bread and butter. They literally can score within 2 passes from all over the field. As you know yourself, them man in Arteta and Pep, it's like a chess battle. Like, even the game against City at the Emirates, like, it weren't an amazing watch. It was a game of both teams cancelling each other out. Arteta made the difference with his subs. And that's where I'm a bit not nervous, but it's like you said it there. I think the midfield battle is crucial. I don't know why. I'm just worried about wide areas. I've got all the faith in Benjamin White doing his thing, whether he has a good game or bad game. Kiwior has been doing what he's doing. But that's just where I'm worried, because as you know, City, the play might be on the right-hand side. Players on the other side are making certain movements, and then it's the player that you can't even see on the TV that makes the difference. So it's a techie one, man. And I go back to... I don't remember the game because it feels like we've played City so many times, but I want to say it's the game you spoke about with Rob Holding. Was it Kevin De Bruyne? I think it was Kevin De Bruyne. After the game, he was saying something along the lines of, when Xhaka and Partey press, Pep was saying, let them go and do that. You just stay there and capitalize on that. And that's where I'm kind of looking at it. It's like, where is this game going to be won and lost? What is it saying? Like, what do you make of it as a whole then, man? Like, as well, because it's techie.
I think, listen, I think I'll ask you a question in a second, but I think for me, I'm more worried about Jorginho playing isn't my problem. It's Jorginho if he loses the ball. Now, we know that he's a fantastic player. We know that he's got all the guile, he's got all the skill, his range of passing is, second to none. But there are so many things where I'm just thinking, if you lose the ball, your legs, it's not to say that you're slow, it's to say that you're 33 years old and you can't track back the way that De Bruyne tracks back. And now I'm going to sound stupid because De Bruyne is 32, but De Bruyne has just got a better engine than the likes of Jorginho, and it's just that simple.
It's just how the cookies crumbled. Everyone's got strengths and weaknesses.
I was about to say his strengths aren't tracking back. His strengths isn't that he's got those Yaya Toure kind of go gadget legs, or what we saw from what's his name, Onana that played for Belgium the other day.
Yeah.
Like clamping out his legs,
just
was just
walking
long.
like that. Like 30 meters. Like.
There you go. So I think for me, I'm just scared about losing the ball because there are points where these players for Man City, their press is good as well.
We're gonna have to suffer from
periods. We're gonna have to Bernardo Silva, Foden, De Bruyne, Rodri.
I'm getting shook about all these names.
These man, Alvarez, Haaland, these man can press properly. Like that's why they're such world class. Yeah. They're crazy.
That was crazy. I was thinking, let me allow it in it, but I couldn't.
Yo, these guys, but they're good at that kind of.
No. Bag on, man.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, who's editing this shit, bro?
I can't lie, man. There needs to be a pause on all football related talk, man. Just a universal one. Man.
Oh, yo, that's crazy still. But my point that I was saying is that these players, they're good at pressing, innit? They're good at pressing. So I think that they're gonna earmark the likes of Jorginho as good as he is on the ball. I'm just scared if he loses it. I don't want to have behind him, bro. I'm shook. Even though we've got Gabriel Magalhaes, and Saliba back. I'm not wanting to see his man running at our defense like that, bro. I don't want to see that, man. That's just scaring me. So I would rather have two monsters in there, in Declan Rice and Partey, however long he can kind of play the game for, if it's 50 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes at a push, and then you bring players on, because not only does that help you defensively, but offensively it helps you as well, because if you press them, you win the ball back higher.
Fresh legs in that.
You've got three players in that midfield. Odegaard, we know what he's a pressing monster. We know Declan Rice. We see what he does for England and Arsenal, and Partey can do it.
Fact.
I would feel more comfortable seeing them in there and getting back than the likes of Jorginho. He just looks to be the weak link defensively in terms of tracking back. That's it. So that's my thing. But who would you play?
Do you know what? You're converting me with the Partey thing. It's one where I wish I was a fly on the wall at London Coley and I knew how fit he was and all of that jazz. If it's just on ability and my natural bias, of course, like I think us fans, with the greatest of respect to Havertz in midfield and Jorginho, I think everyone wants to see, at least for a season, Partey, Rice and Odegaard. I'm leaning towards Jorginho. I agree with what you're saying. I feel a lot more comfortable with Partey, but just from what I know as an ignorant fan, that Jorginho looks relatively fit. Partey, I don't know what you're on. And as much as I want to play you against City, like I said, I'm not a physio, but if you play, you get some sort of setback, and then you're out for, not just City, but the other games is clash. So I'm more on the it just plays Jorginho, because I hear what you're saying. I think we have to think about their weaknesses, but I don't think we can rock up there. Not saying you're saying this, but rock up there like pussies. Like, we've got things that we can harm them with. In many ways, attack is a form of defense. And, if you've got Havertz dropping in midfield, if you do play Gabriel Jesus, who's going to put a shift in, I think it kind of evens itself out. Because I think this game will be typically what it's been against City, in that it will come down to fine margins. City 9 times out of 10, like me and you be all day watching on YouTube highlights of them beating us up. But I do think in the last couple of years under Arteta, they've been closer contests. Now, obviously, we've had the Tomiyasu mistake with Ramsdale caught off his line. Sometimes the fine margins have just gone against us. So I'm not too sure, but I would lean towards Jorginho, man. Kind of what you said at the start. Like, I know momentum's kind of irrelevant now because we're not playing anymore. Well, we weren't playing for a sec, but I just think the team's kind of picking itself, really. If I was going to make changes, it would be if there was an assurance, take nothing away from Kyrgios, that Tomiyasu is fit to put in a shift, I might lean towards him. But then it goes back to what we said on Jesse's stream, that Tomiyasu is one of them players. It feels like he needs a run to kind of get back to what he's good at. obviously I mentioned Jesus. I would play Havertz because Havertz, he might not be pretty, you might not score, and I know he's in March madness, but I just need you to drop into midfield. And obviously Benjamin White, Gabriel, and Saliba make up. They speak for themselves. What do you make of Raya? Because you've been critical on the guy. Like, is this a game for you where not that you want to see Raya called into question, but he could be like, all right, cool, that's a performance now.
Listen, let me refer back to last season for a second. Right,
go on.
Last season, I think it was. There was a stat that every single player, bar I think one, scored a goal for us. Every outfield player scored a goal for us. There was like 18 players. So what that said to me is every single player had a moment to kind of solidify themselves into this Arsenal team or Arsenal
a hero for the day.
It was. I think it was actually probably only like Iosada didn't score. Fabio, and no, that was because he was injured. That was because
no. Banner aside, you're right.
Not even like, oh, he's dead. Let's just say he was injured. He was out for the whole season, so he didn't get an opportunity. But Fabio Vieira scored. Obviously, El Nene was out as well. So everybody in the squad, that I think 23, 25 man squad,
or nucleus of them,
made an impact. We saw Ramsdale. Okay, he didn't score, but he had fantastic performances last season. Gabriel scored. Saliba scored. He had his moment against Bournemouth when he scored that wonder goal.
Goal of the season contender last year.
One of the goals of the season. Ben White. Everybody made a contribution to Arsenal. Raya, for me, I feel like he's had his contribution against Porto this season, but I want to see you solidify yourself this season, this game, as somebody who is an Arsenal keeper. I want to see you make a difference. And it's not to say that I want to see you diving around and making 25 shots. I just want you to, in the big moments, in those clutch moments, I don't want you to have a Lons away performance in you, because this is the game where we need you, because the last line of defense is you, my guy. So when all fails, you're the guy that's meant to stop the. That's your only objective. Bro, that's your only objective, to stop the ball going in the back of the net. You got to think centre backs, they got to do certain things. Full backs, they've got to do certain things that are more integral to the way that you have to build up and play as a footballer. A keeper, he's got two jobs: kick the ball out from a goal kick or from any sort of position, throw the ball out, and stop the ball going in the back of the net. That's your two jobs, brother. That's it. That's your objective.
You're right.
So I want you, and again, I'm being very simplistic with this because we know that he's got to do other things than that.
No, I mean, everyone listening can read between the lines. We know the ball playing goalkeepers and all that jazz.
For me, I just want you to put in a performance where I know that you're live and you're there and you're part of the Arsenal squad. You've made a clear, tangible difference. If we lose and he concedes a goal, it doesn't matter that it doesn't mean that he's been the worst player on the pitch, but be there and show up and show out. Show that you are part of this squad and you are the guy. And listen, people are going to say the Porto thing. Yes, yeah, he did look good in that game. But I want to see it now in another big game for me to show me in the Premier League that you are Arsenal's keeper, because people keep going back to this whole, he met him last season. Ramsdale made mistakes against Southampton. He made mistakes against Bournemouth, etc. West Ham, he didn't do this. But nobody remembers all the good stuff that he did. And the fact that, as I said to you over and over again, they don't put context of the defense when Holding was in there. That the brother, I keep saying, this guy is in Crystal Palace and he can't even get into their first team.
Can't get even with their injuries.
But even with the freaking injuries, bro, it's crazy.
He's living a movie, to be fair, too.
Bro, he's like the perfect player, because he's like not Rob Holding. It's what's his name? Scott Carson. He's a perfect keeper. Because
you know the wicked thing I was about to say, it's like he's a third choice goalkeeper as well.
He gets all the trophies and he doesn't do no work. He doesn't do anything.
We just see him in the change rooms.
Just see him in the changing room and that's it. So for me, I'm just like, look, put context into the fact that yes, Ramsdale made mistakes, but also the squad, the team wasn't playing well. We were shifting goals as a team. Odegaard was shifting goals and losing the ball. We weren't doing certain things to kind of keep the ball, and it was a collaborative thing as much as him. So all I want is Raya to make it step up, show up and show out. Whether we lose or win, just show up and put in your performance. That's it. That's all I want. And for me, then I can say, yeah, look, pay the £30 million or whatever it is. And it's not just off one game, because he's been good for a few weeks, few months now. But I just want to see this now. When it crunch times, the same way how everybody gets onto Ramsdale last season in the crunch time, because before that, remember, he was good. Before the crunch, before those
He will live
9,
or die by that Southampton mistake, in my
bro,
opinion.
he's gonna, and the West Ham game. No. The West Ham game, he was poor as well, bro. Because he could have saved that goal from
that will erase a lot. As you know yourself, football fans, for all these players, even the players that I might not be fond of, they got a small memory in it. Like they only remember week to week, and I do think that's what people remember with Ramsdale, unfortunately.
But people forget this guy is goalkeeper. He's the current goalkeeper of the Premier League.
Yeah, PFA. He got PFA nominated.
Bro, not nominated. He won it, brother.
Yeah. He's in the team of the year as well. Yeah. He got 13, 14 assists as well. Clean sheets.
Bro, this is the current holder. And people act like this guy's some scrub, but he isn't. And that's all I want. I just want you to show up and show out. That's all I want you to do. Don't make yourself a hero. Don't try to do no stupidness. Don't lose the ball in the points that you need to. Or if you do, don't make it in a sense that you're making it a tangible point to say that you're the reason why we conceded the goal. Because Spurs at home, I think you were poor. Lons away, I think you were poor. There's been other games that I can earmark and I think, you know what, you could have done a lot better with that. You could have really done a lot better.
To Chelsea away, he has to hold
Chelsea away. But I look at the game when we played Brentford a couple of weeks back. Did I think he was poor? No. Did I think you were amazing? No. Like I feel like you could have still saved the goal, but I'm not putting it on him, if that makes sense. Like I'm not saying, yo, you're the reason, but I feel like you could have done better. And I just want to have a top keeper. That's it. And I always say, like, people think, oh, it's because English bias, but I don't care who it is. I keep saying, people, I want England to fail with everything. I don't want Saka to win nothing in England regards, but I don't care about England. It's just the fact that I think he's a better keeper. But prove me wrong now. Show up, because you've been good for the last however many weeks, months. You played for Spain against was it Chile the other day or whatever it is?
Yeah,
good. So
I think he did well at Anfield away, if I'm honest as well. I think him and Odegaard in our poor form. I don't think both of them got enough praise for what they did.
But if we're going to win this game, we're going to need to have a shot. We're going to have some moments where we're riding our luck, and that luck might be from the set.
Look at the Emirates. Declan Rice cleared it off the line, where Raya started a bit nervous in that City game. If I'm honest.
There you go. And again, I just want you to be the person that, if you can save us, save us. If there's a point where, yes, fine, you concede a goal, don't make it the obvious thing that you're the reason why. Because currently, we've got people saying Kelleher's better than Raya, Kelleher's better than Ramsdale, and I don't think
that's a shit shout, man. Big him up, but I don't think you're better than either.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't want that kind of label on man, because I feel like Raya is a good keeper, but I just don't think he's that top echelon yet. And if he can get there, fair play to him.
Being devil's advocate, though, like, do you not feel calmer with Raya in goal? I'm not saying he's a better goalie, but do you not feel calmer with Raya as opposed to Ramsdale? Because I must admit, Raya does. I do get that from Raya. I don't think he's perfect, but I do get that. I do think Ramsdale, sometimes his erraticness can spread to other players, if I'm honest.
Yeah. And I think if you saw the interview, I think last season, where he said that he loses focus and stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that, bro. I think that's a shambles for you.
That's maybe why you can't be a top level keeper at this moment in time under Arteta, man.
There you go. But I do, and you're right. I do feel calmer with Raya. I do feel more at ease with Raya. Obviously, at the games, you do like to feel a bit pumped up when you have your keeper kind of with Ramsdale.
Yeah, it's like the thing with Ramsdale. It's like a fan on the pitch with you. He's like random, really.
There you go. So it is like it is a tough one. But listen, I'm not here to say that any of them are rubbish. I just have a preference currently of, I feel like Ramsdale, given the opportunities, I feel like he can, show he's a top keeper. But as I said, I do think Raya is a good keeper, and I think he's been good for, I would say, the majority of the season, just over half of the season.
Yeah, he's been good for the large part. There's been a couple moments like everybody, but I think Raya's done okay. And do you know what? To be fair to Raya, not the Chelsea mistake, because I won't. There's no excuse for that. I do, as you said, the keeper's the last line of defense. I do think Raya could have done better at numerous moments that we've both said, but there's other moments where he's been let down. And I also, like, when he looked a bit nervous at the start of the year, I don't know, but in hindsight, I'm probably attributing a bit of that to, the whole noise around him and Ramsdale and all the playing at Arsenal and stuff. So he just needs to keep going. If we do beat City, what statement does this send out? If it does send out anything?
I think, do you know what? I'll be real with you. I think it's more for the players. I think it's more for the players to say, look, we can go to Spurs away, we can go to Man United away and win. Because everybody, I think currently thinks Man City are still favourites for some.
We could be third come the end of the weekend, allegedly.
There you go. I think and rightly so. I think everybody thinks that Man City are favourites. So I just think for the players, you know, you're going to get people online saying all kinds of crazy stuff, but I just want everybody to just almost just take it off a tick.
Just relax a little bit, man. I know it's difficult, but
we've beat them. We've beat them away for the first time since 2015 when
yeah. They've won 12 of the last 13 games against us. Generally, they've had our number.
It's crazy. So and that's the thing. It's not even been draws. Like they just beat us. So
comprehensively battered. Really,
I think that's what we will need to do. We need to go to the ground and just beat them. Just to say, look, let's just keep it moving. Not to say that, oh yeah, like we're the best team in the world, because anybody can beat anybody on any given Sunday. So I think it's just about the players knowing that they can beat the top teams, because it goes into Champions League. Because there is a, you know, if I ask you again, currently, who do you want to play in the next round if we get there?
It's City, as you said last time. It's the devil we know versus the devil we don't know. I don't know about Real Madrid or City, but I'd rather them. And I personally feel, if we do beat Bayern Munich, as I said before, I just think that's written in the script, really and truly. So
and just to add on top, if we do then beat them, we got them again in 2 games, and we've beaten them. We would be the only team that could have beaten them home and away, because Liverpool have drawn both games against them. Man United, they've beaten them both games. Hold on, have they beaten them both games?
No, I don't. I think I heard City's record against the top 6 is kind of crazy this term.
No, but hold on, have Man City beaten Man United home and away?
In what, this year? They ain't done that. I don't think they've done that. Let me look.
Okay, Man City beat them.
They beat them in the last one, and they came back from behind.
Wait, hold on. Have Man City played them twice? I can't remember. I can't remember.
No, you're right. They beat them 3-0 at Old Trafford, and then they dealt with them 3-1 at the in March. Well,
okay, cool.
You're right.
So pretty much, we're the only and Spurs have drawn against them. So we're the only team that can, if we beat them on Sunday, can beat them home and away this season out of the top 6.
That's the thing. Pep ain't gonna, not that obviously I'm saying the obvious, but that's another thing. It's like Pep is probably sitting there like, you know, I've let my little brother Arteta go over there. It started off as a bit of a joke. Now they're looking kind of serious. We can't let them man beat us 3 times in the space of a year / twice in the league. That's unheard of. We're fighting for our lives. So that's where I'm a bit like, they're going to be serious about this. But at the same time, I do think, you know, without being arrogant, I think, you know, your confidence is dictated by results, and we've done well. We've shown we can go away from home and cope with the temperament. I actually think in the last game, well, in this reverse fixture last year, I think in between, we weren't terrible. It's just, you could tell with Rob Holding, not that it was just him. It was a ticking time bomb. You knew what time it was going to be. There was a couple of times it's like he was signaling for help with Haaland. So, as I always tell the fans, like, and I'm saying it for myself as well, we wanted this. Like, yeah, there's nerves, there's excitement, there's all of this, but this is the realm we wanted to be in. And I want to obviously beat City and one day get into that realm where me and you were talking about City, but we're not talking about how great it would be to beat City. It's normal. If they beat us or we beat them, it's normal. A bit like if they play Liverpool. So I don't know, but could you argue there's never been a better time to play them and beat them?
Depends on the injuries, bro. It depends on the injuries,
because they do look like they can be got at generally across the 90 minutes this season, even though City has proven their worth.
There you go. I think the fact that they've not been blowing teams away this season at home or away. I think the fact that listen, before the international break, we were scoring quite a few goals. We got over the hurdle of the Champions League against Porto. We had just beaten Brentford. I know it was 2-1, but we had still just beaten them.
Still got points on the board, man.
Yeah. So we still got points on the board, but yeah, I just think for me, I'm very. Should I say I'm not optimistic? I just think that we've got a good chance to beat them. I think we've got a good chance to beat them. It's just definitely it's a must not lose. We cannot lose. If we lose the game, I'm saying that the title hopes go from 40%, 50%, 40% down to 5%, bro.
You need a lot of luck. It's already out. Well, it would for me. In fact, I have to correct myself, because up until this point, I still kind of maintain and did maintain that it's out of our hands. We need a bit of fortune and stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't look at the league table, but if we are top, then it is in our hands. Then you start to creep back into what I was saying. If you lose, I think it's one where if we win, I'm not going to get excited and say we're going to do this thing, because football's weird. Like, you could beat City and then go lose to Luton, and then we're having a very different conversation. If we lose, I'm not going to get excited. I still think we just have to keep going. But then you're reliant on City dropping points. And unlike Arsenal, they've been in this territory with competing on multiple fronts, multiple games, and it being the business end of the season. What I'm hoping is, as you know yourself, if you're learning to if you're learning how to cook, you put your hand in fire, it burns you one time. You're not going to want to put your hand in the fire again, innit? So I hope the burning of how last season ended is above all what drives us and has been driving us since January, man. So I don't know, but I just want a competitive performance, man. If we lose this, no one wants to lose, but it's how you lose. Don't have too much respect for them, because I do think last year, I don't know these players, never had a conversation with them, but just watching it on TV, it looked like, honestly, to me, it was one lost in the dressing room. It only looked like Benjamin White, couple man looked like they was with this, couple other guys looked shook. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's going to be a big game. It's going to be a big game, and I think we've got players that can step up. I do think, and that the other point is, I know we spoke about it earlier on, but I think the other point is, if you do play players like Jorginho, they can step up. They have got that kind of big game mentality.
They've been here before.
And that's where I feel like when you play Partey, I do feel like he puts his head down a little bit. I do feel like he makes himself an easy like a scapegoat with some of his not performances, but he's
a bit shook at times. Let's be real.
Yeah, he can be a bit lackluster at times. He can be a bit lackluster when certain things don't go his way. And even to be fair, just to go back on my point as well, last season when we played Man City away, he was the reason why we conceded the first goal with Rob Holding, because he didn't track KDB. So
he's getting battered up by Grealish and that Victoria. That was crazy. That's crazy from him. I don't like Partey. I couldn't understand that, man. It's crazy.
This guy's crazy, said VB,
That's all I think about when I see Grealish. Lovely footballer, but all I think is you look like Victoria Beckham, bro.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be a tough game, and I do think that we can do it. As I said, do I feel like I'm gonna go crazy? No, I'm not. I feel like a lot of Arsenal fans will go crazy, but I'm not gonna lose my head. I'm gonna obviously be happy about the victory, but I'm more get to the Spurs away and still be top. Get to Spurs away and still be top, because I think we've got, as I said, we've got Luton away, so we've got Luton at home, Brighton away. I think we've got Chelsea, and then we've got Spurs. So yeah, that just get to that game, still being top. If we can get be top by then, bro, then I'm gonna start believing for real.
At the end of the day, you're right. For me, it's a shootout now. You got 12 cup finals, including the two on paper in the Champions League. Like, we got Aston Villa. This is it, bro. Like, this is it now. Everything you've been working for the last 2, for some of you 3 seasons, all the pain of last year, it comes down to this, because unfortunately, as you know yourself, a week's a long time in football. So you can imagine a year. There's a different talking points, different protagonists and heroes from August to May. But all that matters is where you start and where you finish. No one in 2 years from now is going to go back and say, oh, but we beat City, we beat Liverpool, we lost it against Fulham away. All that's going to matter is your name etched with something in history? And that's where we need to go. We need to go from now not being a exciting team, but we need to be a cerebral team. And for me, last season, I'm sure most Arsenal fans would agree, and probably this year, in many ways, we deserve to win something. Like, we deserve something in history that marks this off. But then I could be devil's advocate to my own logic and say, if you don't get the job done, do you deserve anything in life? I don't know. But like you said, these are tough games. We forgot about Villa as well, to be fair.
Villa and Wolves as well. So
Emre settings. Gary O'Neill.
The thing what I look at is I think the Aston Villa, because they're away from home, I think the fact that they have a high line, we should be able to penetrate.
I want revenge there still.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously it's in between the Champions League games, which obviously can throw up kind of a bit of a curveball. But listen, man,
back to what you said about rotation as well.
You've said it a few times, and obviously we got Brighton 3 days before Champions League. So you've said it a few times, and I think the logic says that the manager needs to rotate, and I think we've been wanting to be here, bro. You've been doing content long enough to go through the
first Champions League Arsenal watch-alongs,
the doldrums, exactly the doldrums that we've been going through, where, bro, like I remember we was Europa League, and like like I think it was Socrates. I think it was he's the last game for Emery, and Socrates took like 5 minutes to take the last throw in, and we needed a goal, bro. And I'm like, those were hard times.
They were the trenches, real trenches.
Like, so this is where we are now. This is where we need to be. This is where we want to be. So, you know, we may not have the squad to go all the way in all the competitions, but this is the big game, man. This is the big game. This is the big time, and let's hope that we can do it, bro. Because Sunday, there's going to be a lot etched in history. Hopefully, we can do it. As I said, the first time since 2015. That's 9 years.
We had Coquelin and Santi Cazorla and Monreal and them, man. And you know, last time I checked, they're not here anymore.
And what was it? Giroud up front, bro.
Giroud up front, and these kind of man.
That 2000 and if that's 2015, that was Giroud. So that's crazy, bro. So yeah, man, I'm not too sure whether or not we can do it. I do think we've got enough, but the players need to go out there. I think some of the players, Saka, I feel like he needs a big game. I think second is a huge game, because the last 3 times he's either not been there, as we spoke about, or he's been locked up by Ake. So I think he needs a big game. I think not for me personally, but I think for rivals especially, I think Odegaard needs a big game, because they call him Ghost to guard against the big teams. I just think that's absolute nonsense. But I think just for the people that are gonna say he doesn't turn up for this game or that game, that's gonna be a big moment for him. And then you've got the defense. I think they just need to step up. I think if that works, then I think we've got enough to nick a win somehow, some way. Because look, listen, I think we've got quality, and yeah, man, let's just go. Let's get there, man. I wish the game was tomorrow. I just want to get out of the way.
I wish we played it before the international break.
I do wish that. It
would have been lovely to have 2 games of City done. We know our fate already, but the football gods got something else for us, bro.
Yeah, I wish you had played the Chelsea game. I wish they went in the FA Cup, and I wish we had played City just before the international break. But you can't write your own script. And listen, right now we're top of the league. No matter what anyone says, we're top of the league. So, well, yeah, I'm telling you, we're top of the league. So
let's hope that's the case, blood.
Well, we win out, win enough games, we win the league. So I don't think Liverpool are going to win out, and I don't think Man City are going to win out. So it's on the players, man. The players they've had enough rest. I think it's what Havertz, who's had a few minutes over the international period.
Got 120, I think, in Poland's last games. He's come off the bench. Rice has played both games. Obviously, Saka's pulled out the team. Benjamin White's had his shenanigans with Southgate. So it's a bit of a mixed kind of batch, really and truly.
I think it's only really 4 players that we need to kind of worry about.
The Brazilian boy stayed at home. In fact, I don't know for Jesus, actually, but Martinelli and Big Gabriel.
Declan Rice played both games. Raya played, I think, 1 or 2 games, but he's a keeper, so I'm not worried too much about that. You've got the defense pretty much stayed at home, so they should be rested.
Jorginho played, I think.
Kivior played, but the thing is, you can rotate him with Tomiyasu, you can rotate him with Zinchenko, so that's fine. You've also got Jorginho, as you spoke about, but regardless, he doesn't play every game anyway, because he can't, like physically he can't. So that's where you need Partey to come in and do.
And what you mentioned with Havertz is kind of, obviously I'm not watching Germany, but I think he scored, so maybe his confidence that he left to go to Germany, it returns really. So
and then on top of that, let's just go back to the matter of the fact is we've got Jesus who's meant to be the number 9. So, well, he is the number 9. He's meant to be the goal scorer. So, listen, you can rotate. That man don't have to play every single game. And that's where going back over and over, the man just needs to be cute with it, man.
That's where he's got to earn his chops, boys. Really,
literally that without the earning his chops. So yeah.
All right, my last question for you then, Broski. Like score prediction. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm actually going to say my heart is saying 2-1 Arsenal. My brain is saying 1-1. I just think it's a draw. I hope we don't lose. I want to say I don't think we're going to lose, but I just never know, man. I do think we're walking away with a point minimum, but where are you at?
You know what? I was going to say a draw. I think it's going to be a draw. I feel like Arsenal will have some really good moments, but I feel like we're going to lack a bit of cutting edge. I think Arsenal will go ahead, and I actually do think Arsenal are going to shit the bed a little bit, unfortunately. Not because they're not good players. I just think that it's just Man City away, they're just no joke, bro. I think
when you see Pep Guardiola is spooky, man.
What is it that you got Haaland as well? But I think there's stat I saw like Man City ain't lost at home in the Champions League. I know it's a different competition for, is it like 2-3 years?
I don't think they've lost at the Etihad in a hot minute as well. I could be wrong.
Like it's their results.
Yeah, I think it's different. I can't lie.
So yeah, man, I'm not here to downplay them. I know a lot of players, a lot of fans are kind of saying, yeah, play their strongest team and that, bro. Like you lot need to chill, man. So
yeah, big dogs, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1. I think we're gonna go ahead. But I feel like we're gonna not bottle, but I feel like we will put in a bit of a shaky performance and kind of be happy to take the 1-1 and move with that. So I'll take a draw. I will take a draw and kind of see how it goes out for the next few games, because obviously we've got Luton at home. We should take care of them. Brighton, obviously, as we spoke about, Wolves, Aston Villa. Then we get to that big game, which is a North London derby, man.
I can't lie, man. It seems like it's going to be a jam-packed end to the season, man. But as you said earlier, this is what we wanted, man. So, Lee, man, hopefully the next time we speak, we're still in jubilant fashion, man. Let people know where they can find you, my guy. You don't need to get onto him about his own YouTube channel, because he's being lazy, people. He's being lazy. He's always welcome on my platform. He's a pleasure to have, really, because of all his opinions. But he needs to look after his own house. He's abandoning you lot abused him on Twitter and that.
I know, but now you'll see me on Twitter, innit? You'll see me on Twitter, but yeah, listen, I will, I promise you, bro. Work's just mad, bro. Work is crazy. I know. I keep saying I'm going to, but work's been mad. But I'm coming back. I just need a bit of a time to get there. But yeah, listen, right now, I just want to see Arsenal win, bro. I just want to see Arsenal. I'm just enjoying Arsenal winning, bro. After that, everything else is secondary, bro. Everything. I just want to see.
Trust me, man. Like, I'm dreaming of the title parade, but I'm sure you lot of I'm sure the fans them are feeling like we're feeling. But it's the dream is free, the hustle so separately, bro. And it is the hope that kills. So as much as I'm not gonna lie, with Arteta, it's very difficult for me to urge caution, because I understand it. As you said earlier, some fans go too mad and start saying we're the bee's knees, we're the this, that, the other. But it's hard not to be optimistic, because we've been a sleeping giant. Now I think it's a case of we're a competent side now. We're doing all the things we've asked for years. Now let's get over the line, or build to getting over the line in the Prem. I don't even want to talk about champs yet, because I think you have to bully the domestic team first. But we're in the champs. See what we can do there, and just keep being the envy. People question Mikel Arteta. Now when I see United fans on Twitter or any manager that's in a bit of trouble, they're always like, "Oh, Arsenal stuck with Mikel Arteta." Our thing is very different. Like, it's not the same. But that tells you how we're maneuvering. So it needs to continue, fam. It needs to.
100%, man. And that's the thing, bro. Like, for me, I'll be real with you, bro. Like, if we win this Premier League, bro, Arteta, there might be certain statues that have to go outside that stadium, bro.
And on that note, we ended it, because that's the title of the video. I got what I needed, man.
Yo,
I got what I needed. I can't lie. I was thinking of a title for this. I got this. This ain't just Man City Arsenal preview. Listen, I've got my title, man.
Yo, AI, bro. AI is doing crazy things, bro.
But on that note, people, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your predictions and all of that. Lee, let you get out of here. I'm off to do another video with someone else. So yeah, man, everyone stay safe, stay blessed. Follow Lee on the socials. Peace, my guy. Peace to the fans listening. Safe. Peace.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like.
Tongue